Yes.
Okay, great. So let's talk about the differences. Here we have, I have mentioned some technical differences. Even if you don't understand, at least remember them, say it in your interview. Now, understanding the layers of application and OSI layers, there are 7 layers. You'll have to go and check the OSI layer model, right? That's another study. So even if you don't understand what is layer 4, what is layer 7, what is layer 7, right? So at least remember it, that which one works on which layer. So you can say it in your interview that fine load balancer is layer 4 load balancer and all of remaining all are layer 7 load balancer. It's easy to remember. Load balancer is layer 4, remaining all are layer 7. Now what are these layers, etc.? Don't have to get into this, it's okay. But if you need it for your information, you can go ahead and search OSI reference model. There you will see all the 7 layers. Next one is type, internal and public, standard and WAF. What exactly do we have here? SKUs in short. So load balancer can be used for internal and public both. What does it mean? That if my traffic is coming from the internet, I can use it. And if my traffic is coming internally, then also I can use it. How? Let me explain it. Let me open Visio. Do you guys remember the concept of 3-tier application?
Yes.
Yeah. So if I have a 3-tier application and if I have uh, 5 servers in tier 1, one server in tier 2, one server in tier 3, is it highly available application?
No.
All right, I should have multiple servers in each tier.
Yeah, but in tier two and tier three have only one server. If in tier two one
Yes,
server is down, then we cannot.
one point of failure. So we should have multiple servers in each tier. So if we have multiple servers in each tier, then again the question will arise that which server's IP should be there, right? So to answer that, here it is. Look at this. So if this is my web tier, this diagram or this diagram, whichever is easy for you to understand. If I have a web tier, then I will have a load balancer. I hope this is visible to everyone. Okay, are you guys able to see it, read it properly?
Yes.
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 So this is my front end or web tier, web application, whatever you call it. My users are here, they are over the internet, right? They are connecting to my load balancer. This load balancer have a public IP here. At this edge, it has a public IP, front end IP. My users have this IP, they're connecting here. From back end, it is distributing traffic exactly like this. Here, here, and here, depending on their availability, load, etc. Right? Now, this first tier, let's say this is a an application like Instagram we have been discussing or Face app. You uploaded a picture. Now you want some filters to be applied. Is that filter applying happening here? No, it's not happening here. It will happen here at the you call it business tier, or I would call it backend or engine server, whatever you want to call it. Right? But at the backend. So here under backend, this traffic, now you have 3 servers. You're getting data from 3 servers, right? Now these 3 servers, if they start sending like this to this particular server or to this particular server or to this particular server directly, or maybe like this, anyhow, but they're sending it to servers directly. Is it again a highly available application? No.
No.
Why? Because if this server is
No.
down, whatever this server is sending is not going to get reply. So in this case, what is happening again, that these servers will, the traffic will go via load balancer, and this load balancer will distribute the traffic equally depending on the load and their availability, right? Now, here, this is on VNet in Azure. This is on VNet in Azure. Do they actually need a public IP to communicate with each other?
No.
No.
Right? So your load balancer, it will have a front end IP here also, but this front end IP will be your private IP. This will be your public IP. Right? This is public IP and this is private IP. Similarly, from here to data tier, what kind of IP do we require?
Private IP.
Simple. Private
Private
IP
IP.
here, right? And it's going here also, right? So this is your external load balancer. This is your internal load balancer. Is this point clear to everyone? Yes, no, maybe.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Similarly, a cleaner bike diagram, if we have a look at, here it is, public one, internal load balancer, and look at this. Now, this behind this public load balance, the behind this load balancer, what do I have? I have one availability set. It is possible to have one availability set. It is possible to have one virtual machine scale set, and it is possible to simply just have virtual machines. It is possible. Similarly, behind internal load balancer, I can again have an availability set. I can have virtual machine scale set. Everything is similar. Right? This is normally database, so it will have a replication between DB. This is the actual diagram we have. So this is how it works. Do you understand load balancer with three-tier application? By the way, this load balancer can be behind application gateway also. We'll see that when we talk about application gateway or Azure Traffic Manager or Azure Azure front door. So we can have them behind this also. We'll see that later. First, let's focus on this one. Second thing, uh, routing. What are the routing methods? This is one of the very good point which you can say in your interview. So when it comes to load balancer service, the routing methods is hash based. Now, what is hash based? I will explain it to you. When we are doing this, I'll explain the hash based. The application gateway has path based. What is path based? This is very important and very useful actually. Now, service like Netflix or Amazon, uh, or let's stick to Google maybe, or this, right? Do you think they have only one server for all images and for all videos? Do you think they have only one server or at least
No.
one set of servers? Even they have in high
No.
No.
availability. Do you think they have 10 servers, and on those 10 servers they are running images, and on the same 10 servers they are running videos? Do you think that's the that kind of setup Google will have? No, they will have hundreds of
Mm.
servers only for images. So they will have particular application, particular website only for images, google.com/images. The moment you type this, they will have huge three-tier application setup only for images. Google.com/videos, google.com/ maybe mail, google.com/anything. They will have separate three-tier application for everything. That is your path based. So application gateway allows us to have a load balancing on the incoming traffic based on the browser URL, whatever you have typed. So if someone has typed google.com/images, it will go to application gateway, and application gateway will send it to a specific set of servers over there only. It will not send to video servers. It will not send to audio servers. It will only send to image servers. Or even if it is in particular, let's say one server, right? In server also, you will have segregated folders, so it can route the traffic based on the path which has been requested in browser. So if someone has requested google.com/images, it will go to that particular server or that particular path only. That is your path based. Under traffic manager, we have routing. We can control it on the performance based, weightage based, priority based, geographic based, or subnet. For example, performance, which servers are performing well, so the traffic should route over there, right? Performance, it is decided based on the available RAM, available CPU, and other metrics. Weightage, irrespective of the performance, to one set of backend servers I have weighted 60%, the other 40, so 60% traffic will go there, 40% will go here. Priority, that first it should go to server 1 and then it should go to server 2. So till the time server 1 is up and running, it will never go to server 2. So that is priority, right? Geographic, all the traffic which is coming from India, it should go to server 1, 2, and 3. All the traffic which is coming from US, it should go to server 3, 4, and 5. Why do you think we have all these uh, parameters? Can anyone give me one real-time example of this on the application which you have been using, which we are currently using on day-to-day basis, geographic based? What do you think is suitable example for
For
this?
compliance, bank application, or
No, not really looking for fancy words. Give me exact application name, and you have faced that. That okay, I use this application and try to search this content, and this is how I get error, or this is how I get the content. Can you give me application name? I've given you hint. You try to search something, and just because you are from certain country, you don't get to see that content. Yes, guys, where have you faced this? That it shows clearly that because you are from this country, you won't be able to access this content. Not really. TikTok is completely blocked here. TikTok application is blocked itself, right? You can't access TikTok anywhere. I'm saying you are able to access the application, but at the application level, it is diverting you in a proper manner. That if you try to access something else which is not available for you, you won't see it.
Amazon.
Yes, Amazon, Netflix. There are plenty of movies which are available on Amazon, which are available on Netflix, but they are not available when you log in from India region. You take the same account and you go to US or you travel to Europe, you will be able to see them. That is how you control using the geographic weightage. That if someone is coming from India, it should redirect to this particular page, right? Which will show this content is not available for you. That is error page. But if someone is coming from Europe, it will directly take them to a page where this content is available, where they see the play button, where they can play it. So that is where you use traffic manager. Similarly, latency, priority, weightage, now say same things. I mean, you can do 2 plus 2, 4 here. This one I'll explain later. This is recommended for non-HTTP traffic. This is recommended for HTTP and HTTPS traffic, which means for websites, this is recommended. For solution like RDP, this is recommended. This is just recommendation. You can use website here also, right? Now, endpoints. This is very important. This could be an old image. I'll try to amend few more things. What all can you use in the backend? I hope you guys are understanding when I say backend, right? This is the reason I first explained it to you that how the load balancer works and what is a backend. What is backend, guys? When I say backend here, what is backend? Am I talking about the backend of 3-tier application here? Or what is backend in load balancer's case?
Engine server, I think.
Not only engine, it is completely your servers, whatever servers. See, so if you go here, right, this backend tier, it's a different tier. Hence, let's stick to this one then. Here, there's no concept of backend. It's a business tier, data tier. So for this load balancer, this is your front end IP. It could be public or private. In this case, obviously, it has to private. It has to public. And these are your backend servers. Though it is a front end tier and web tier, that's a different thing. Not in this context, right? But इस load balancer के लिए backend server है. Similarly, ये load balancer, ये इसका front end IP है. It could be private or public. In this case, it has to be private. ये इसका backend servers है. For this load balancer, this is the front end IP or front end tier. Public IP हो सकता है, private IP हो सकता है, and ये इसके backend servers है. So this is the backend I'm talking about. Is this clear to everyone? ये 3-tier application में this is front end, this is back end, that's a different concept, right? But from the load balancer perspective, ये इसके लिए backend server है, no matter in which tier they are. These are the backend servers, no matter in which tier they are. Got it, guys?
Yes, yes, got it.
Not all the time you will have 3-tier application. Let's say we have only 1-tier application. सब कुछ इसी में है. Everything is here. मेरा database भी इसी में है, मेरा application भी इसी में है, मेरा engine server भी इसी में. Everything is here. So in this case, this is front end of the load balancer and this is back end of the load balancer. Got it? Others, any questions, any doubts?
No.
So backend, endpoint, it is as good as backend, right? So what is the endpoint we can use? When I'm using load balancer in backend, I can have nick. निक मतलब वर्चुअल मशीन ही हो गया. नॉर्मली निक वर्चुअल मशीन पे ही लगता है. इट्स नॉट एक्सेप्शनल दैट इट्स नॉट एक्सप्लिसिटली that it can be only on virtual machine, but most of the time it is on virtual machine. So when I say nick, it is virtual machine or virtual machine or virtual machine scale set or IP addresses. All these things I can have. What do you mean by IP addresses? I can literally have the public IP address or any IP address in the backend. So if anyone is coming to my load balancer, it should redirect to this particular IP address, or it should redirect to VM. So all these things I can have in my backend, either NIC or VM or VMSS or IP address. The moment I say VM, इसमें availability set, availability zone सब कुछ आ गया. Got it, guys? Is this clear? That what all things can you put in a backend of a load balancer? Is this clear or not?
Yes, it's clear.
In application gateway, what all things can you have? IP address, it was here, fine. Virtual machine ये यहाँ पर भी था, यहाँ पर भी है. What is the difference then? Virtual machine scale set वो तो मैं load balancer पे भी लगा सकता हूँ. Then app services. App service, we still have to see app services, but app service is something which you cannot put as a backend in load balancer, but you can do that on your application gateway. This is my app service. App service is nothing, guys. It's a very basic thing. It's hosting your website without a server. So now if you go and use this URL, the one which I have given it to you, please go ahead and check if you are able to access this. I haven't done anything personalized on that, but at least you should see this page, which means my app service is up and running. I haven't uploaded my data here, otherwise my website should be up and running here, right? I'll have to edit that. I'll have to go and do that, but at least see if you are able to see this page. Let me know if you guys are able to see this
Yes,
page.
I can able to see.
Right?
Same
So
page.
this is app service. I can have my website over here. I can have multiple application service here. Well, when we go for app services here under PaaS category, we'll see that. How is it different from virtual machine? It is a lighter version, right? But what is the difference we're trying to learn here? That I can't have app service as a backend in load balancer, which I can have in application gateway. Is this point clear to everyone? Major difference. One more thing, fully qualified domain name, FQDON. The one which I have shared with you, that is fully qualified domain name. So fully qualified domain name also cannot be used as a backend in load balancer, but it can be used in the application gateway. Is this clear, guys, to everyone?
Oh, Sohail, can you explain the last two statement, FQDN and the previous one, app services one?
App service, did you see the app service, the one which I have shared with you?
Yes.
App service, it's a service of Azure. Like we have virtual machine. Similarly, I have app service. I can host a website on virtual machine. I can host a website on app service also. Virtual machine पे जब मैं host करूँगा, so it will be categorized under infrastructure as a services because virtual machine मुझको बनानी है, उस पे operating system मुझको install करना है. I have to take care of operating system. I have to take care of patching. I have to take care of login and everything. And top of that, coding भी मुझको करनी है. That is infrastructure as a service for hosting a website. On the other hand, when I go for app service is one of the platform as a service of Azure where I just have to put my code. The moment I create app service, this is page I get. The page which I shared with you guys, this is what I get. I just have to go there and upload my code. I don't have to worry about which operating system it is running on. I don't have to worry about patching. I don't have to worry about anything. But both of them are services to run my websites. So when I use load balancer, I can't have app service in backend. If I am having my, if I am hosting my website on 5 app services and now I want to use load balancing services, can I use load balancer?
No,
No. Why?
no.
Because load
No.
balancer doesn't allow me to add app services as a backend. On the other hand, application gateway does. You can ignore the fully qualified domain name. If you don't understand it, ignore it. At least, but remember it that you can mention that fully qualified domain names can be added in application gateway. Clear, guys? What is the difference between these two?
Yes.
Second, traffic manager. Same, you can add cloud services, you can have app services, you can have slot, you can have public IP. In all of these, public IP is common. All of these public IP can be added, right? Here you can have app services, you can have cloud services, you can have storage accounts, you can have application gateway. Say you in the backend of front door, you can have application gateway. So if you want uh, more redundancy and more security, you can have 5 app services, 2 application gateway in front of it, and in front of those 2 application gateway, you can have 1 front end. Because in the back end of the front end, you can add, front door. In the back end of the front door load balancing service, you can add traffic manager also. You can add application gateway also. You can add some API management also. So this is the differences. I know few of services you will not understand, but here it's not our aim to understand what is API management or what is storage or what is cloud or app service. Here is the aim to understand the differences. So irrespective of the understanding or not, remember this point, you should be able to speak about it. Got it? Endpoint monitoring. In all of them, health probe is there. What is health probe? Do you remember I told you that your load balancer, be it on-prem or here, it will not start sending traffic randomly. It will make sure that your server is up and running and then only it will send it. So how does it check how your load balancer, be it anyone, load balancer, application gateway, traffic manager, or front door, how will it check that the backend servers are up and running? How will it know that these servers are running and then only send the traffic? How will it know that this server is down and we should not send the traffic to this server and we should only send it to these 2 servers? So that happens using health probe. What is health probe? I will be explaining it to you later when we do the practical in next session itself. Okay? But understand one thing, that how
will
it does
ping
the
that
sorry.
it will ping that server
We'll come
for
to that
5
later.
minutes, right?
Let's not
If
confuse
he
it. We'll
doesn't
come
get
to that.
any this one.
We'll come to that. How is it doing? We'll come to that. Important. What are the differences? Health probe is the facility is there in all of them. How health probe works? We'll come to that. Don't worry. Now redundancy. Why did I explain it to you guys that load balancer, how it used to work, how we used to host a load balancer on a server? So you understand that no matter I call it load balancer, no matter I call it pass service, everything it's fine, right? But ultimately load balancer भी किसी server पे ही चलता है, right? So what if the server on which my load balancer is running, if that is down, then what? See, my load balancer, this load balancer is working on some server. Though I am not configuring that server, I am not hosting that server. I don't even know it is Linux server or Windows server. Kahan par hai, I don't know. I don't even patch that server. But I hope you understand that even if you are using a service called load balancer, for you, it is a platform as a service. But ultimately, where is it running? Even if Azure is taking care of that, where is it running?
On data center. In data center.
In data center, where?
Server.
Ultimately, it
server.
is on a server. So what happens if that server is down? My web apps are working, everything is working, but the load balancer जिस server पे hosted था ना, वो server ही नहीं चल रहा है. Is my application working then?
No.
No. If this load balancer itself is not
No.
working, it will not be able to accept any request. It will not be able to send any request. Nothing will work. Though it's not my mistake. Azure will cover that, right? It is under Azure's SLA. They have given me load balancer. It is not in my hand. If this machine is down, it is my problem. Web 1 is down, it is my problem. Code in the web 1 is not working, my problem. I have to fix it. But if the load balancer is not working, it is Azure's problem. So to avoid that, Azure is giving you option that if you require 99 SLA, go ahead with the multiple zones. What will happen when you take load balancer in multiple zone?
Redundancy will be there and failure we can
Azure
cover.
will deploy your load balancer in, let's say, 3 different zone and 3 different servers. Are you guys getting it? For you, it will be just load balancer. You'll just see one load balancer. But in the background, Azure will have zone redundancy. So even if one zone is down, your zone redundancy will be there. Right? Azure will do it. You won't have to worry about it. You will have only one front-end IP. Azure will make sure that they're using multiple servers for that. Got it, guys? But you just have
Yes.
to select it. While selecting, if you select zone redundant, then only Azure will give zone redundancy. Do you think the pricing will be same if I am having one load balancer without zone redundancy and load balancer with zone redundancy? Which one will be costlier?
Costlier.
With
If
zone
you don't
Zone
buy
redundancy.
the
redundant.
load balancing availability zone, then the cost will be higher.
Yes, definitely. Because Azure is hosting it on 3 servers for you. It is promising you load service level agreement, a good one, but it will cost you accordingly, right? So similarly, zone redundancy, it's there. Zone redundancy is there. And resilient to regional level failure, will come to this later. That how is it helping in regional after the DR. TLS termination, very important topic and very huge difference, which is not there in load balancer and which is there in application gateway and front door. So we are not going to focus on front door. Mostly they ask about application gateway, and not today, not tomorrow, but maybe next session, I will show you SSL termination, complete practical end to end. Remember that very well. Focus on that, right? Or do ask questions on that. They definitely ask you that, do you understand end to end uh, encryption concept? What is TLS termination? So we are going to do that. That is supported only in application gateway, not in load balancer, right? Uh, Sticky session, ignore it. VNet pairing, ignore it. Supported in all of them. SKU, here we have basic and standard. Here we have standard and WAF, version 1, version 2. Maybe nowadays we don't have version 1. So I'll see if I can remove all these. I'll make sure I'll update this one, right? It's a picture now. I'll have to again write everything and put it as a picture. Uh, so differences between SKU here. One more difference. It comes with WAF. What is WAF? WAF stands for Web Application Firewall. In this case, if I want to have a firewall, if I'm using load balancer, where can I put firewall? Yes, guys. Where do we put firewall? We have seen this in our hub and spoke.
Virtual network on
Yes.
virtual
So
network.
wherever I'm hosting this load balancer in my machines, I'll have to host my firewall on that particular VNet. There is no scope I can put a firewall directly on load balancer. But application gateway comes with an inbuilt WAF. It's optional though, you don't have to use it. Inbuilt WAF, web application firewall. As of now, just remember the concepts, differences. Pricing, we'll see it when we go on the portal. So these are the differences. Any doubts, any questions, guys, still here?
No.
No.
Okay. If you guys do not have any doubts, any questions, let's quickly go ahead and start the practical. So I've created quick 3 servers. I have hosted some website on them. First thing we are going to do is go ahead and check if you guys are able to access those websites, right? Then we are going to put load balancer in front of that. Then at the backend, I will be shutting down one server to check that yes, when you refresh, the traffic is going on server 1. If server 2 and 3 are shut down, if server 3 is shut down, then it is only going to 1 and 2. You guys will get seamless service, and in the backend, you will see it is changing. This is just for demo purpose, guys, that I have kept separate data. I mean, there's no data actually, just one page, but I've kept it separate. In actual environment, will you keep separate websites here, or will you have exact same website? What is the aim here? To have separate websites on 3 servers? whenever we do availability set, availability zone or anything, is it our aim to keep separate applications or it should have exact same application?
It should
Exact
have exact same
same application.
application.
Yes, but here for the practice purpose, so we come to know, yes, that our solution is working. I've kept it separate, but actually, ideally, it should be uh, different. So this is my UT-Kloud Web Server 1, UT-Kloud Web Server 2, UT-Kloud Web Server 3, right? You guys can go ahead and check it once if you guys are able to access this. Just go to browser and check if you guys are able to do it. You should be for next practical or next time testing, make sure that you're using it in incognito mode, because once you use it, it will have the cache and later you will not be able to do the actual practical if the cache records are saved. So open it in incognito mode and check. You guys can check random. Not all of you don't have to check all of three servers. Just check random and let me know if all of you are able to access these websites.
Yes, UTK Web Server 1, Web Server 2.
Okay. Now I'll go
Web
ahead and
server 2.
got it. It is running in East US. I'll go ahead and start load balancer. So you have to go here and search for a service called load balancer. Here it is. The moment you come to load balancer, uh, here, load balancing and content delivery solutions. Solution technology is load balancing. I am specifically looking for load balancer. We have application gateway here. We have Azure front door. We have traffic manager. We'll see them later. Maybe application gateway and load balancer will finish. So load balancer, this is what I'm looking for. Do I have any existing load balancer? No. Let's go ahead and create either from here or here. Standard load balancer, gateway load balancer. See, it clearly says that it will direct the traffic to network virtual appliances. That's not our case. I want to distribute the traffic to backend resources. That is my requirement. So I click here. I'll select my subscription. I'll select the resource group. As of now, I'll say select the same resource group, so it will be easier for me to delete. I will name it as our UT-Kloud load balancer. Distribute traffic to backend resources. This is what I'm looking for. If I create it in some other region, I will not be able to use it for those machines. So region should be same. Got it, guys? Till here, is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. This one is going to be public because I want you guys to access these websites. If I keep it internal and if I click next, if I add front-end IP, look at this. The front-end IP, it will ask me to give a name. I'll go back again, don't worry. Front-end IP. What is front-end IP actually? What is front-end IP if you define front-end IP for me?
Public IP.
Private IP address of the load balance.
Don't call it public or private. Front-end IP is a point of contact where users will connect or the incoming traffic will connect. Public and private वो इस पे आते हैं. The moment I select there, internal type, my front-end IP will be private. By default, it will be private. Look at this. When I go to add front-end IP configuration, it will just ask name. It will ask me to select a virtual network and a subnet, and it will pick one IP from my subnet. There is no way I can have a public IP. Why? Because I selected internal here. The moment I select public, then I can go ahead and this one you can ignore. I will leave whatever default is. Now if I go to front-end IP, I will see an option to have public IP. Got it? Plus, the complete load balancer you can configure without adding backend pool, inbound pool, outbound pool, etc. But front-end IP has to be there. If I say that, okay, I'll do it later, see, it won't allow. At least one front-end IP needs to be there. After this, I can click next, 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 and I can come back later and do the backend pool. So let's add one front-end IP. In this case, I will be adding a public IP. So this is UT-Kloud load balancer. I want to add a public IP. I'll create one load balancer, UT-Kloud load balancer, public IP. I do not want any zone redundancy, nothing for now. Click save. Okay, this is done. Click next. Now backend pool, I can add it here. I can come back to for this later. Click next. Inbound rules, I can add it here or I can come back for this later. Next and create it. As of now, I have just added front-end IP. Now, if I give you this front-end IP, do you think it's useful for you? Will you be able to access my website or anything using this front-end IP?
No.
No.
No, we haven't put anything, right? It's just a front-end IP. So it takes time, some time, guys, to get the load balancer deployed, and we have only 3 minutes left or 2 minutes left in this session. Let's take a break. Unless you guys have any questions, do ask for 2 minutes. We'll take a break of 5 to 7 minutes. Once this is ready, I'll ping you guys and we can join. It might take 5 to 10 minutes. Do you guys have any doubts, any questions?
No.
Let me stop the session. Tentative 1:30 will start. If it is not ready, I'll ping you. Otherwise, let's join at 1:30. 7 minutes, it should be ready. If it is not ready, I'll ping you. So if I'm not pinging anything in the group, by default, we are joining at 1:30. I'm stopping the session.